Good morning, and today we're going to show you how to set up the Sprite Quattro EW. On the near side we've got our battery compartment and 230 in, so 230 hook up lead plugs into here, your other end will plug into site. If you're going to put a leisure battery on, this will just go in here, and red's positive and black's negative. There is a little cutout just here for the cable, so you can lock this compartment up. At the front we've got our gas locker, so we've got room for 2 6 or 7 kilogram bottles. It's set up on propane, so they're the red bottles. Now we've got a hand wheel on this one, so it's literally just tighten it up by hand. You don't need any special spanners or anything like that, it's just literally nip it up and then turn your gas on. We're set up for 13 pin electrics for towing, so just make sure your vehicle's on 13 pin. And then we've got the Elco AKS stabilised hitch head. On the off side at the front we've got the trimmer vent, so when you're using your heating system, so all the gas fumes are going to come out of that there, so nothing to really do on that, it's just literally a flue vent. Water pump, we'll literally drop one end into our aquaroll and the other end then just pushes straight in. There's a little blue clip, just make sure that that's clipped in fully and that will hold that in for you. Towards the back we've got our wastewater outlet, so our shower and all of our sink waste is going to come out of here. And then at the back we've got the cassette toilet, so in this one a little watering can or a little bottle, just fill this up with water and then pink chemical, and then our actual cassette at the bottom is little orange handle to pull it out. When we come to empty this, we just slide the funnel over, remove the yellow cap and hold in the little air vent, and that will allow it to empty nice and easily. So just above the door we've got our main control panel, so we've got our on and off button. At the top here it tells us that we've got leisure battery, so we've got power going to the leisure battery or coming from the leisure battery. We've got our 230 volt plugged in, so our little power signal there just lets us know that we've got the 230 volt plugged in, and then that will be powering the charger, and if you've got a leisure battery on, that would then be charging it. We've then got our awning light, so our light that we saw outside a second ago, that puts our awning light out on. And then our internal lights, so our above cabinet lights, which these are dimmable, and you can use a little arrow on the side here to dim those up and down. And then our main lighting system. We've then got our water tap, which that will put our water pump on and off. Now before we put our water pump on, if we have just come to the caravan after the winter etc, the chances are we'll have drained the caravan down, so we need to make sure that all of our taps are closed, and that's the same for the shower tap, the bathroom tap, and obviously the kitchen sink as well. And then just underneath of our front seat we've got a drain off valve. Which, if we've drained the caravan down, this yellow switch here, that will be in the upright position as it is now, and that will then, by opening all the taps, just drain the caravan completely down. So when we come back into it, we need to pop that back down, shut all of our taps, and then we can go ahead and put our water pump on. We can then start to get the water system primed with water. So if we pop our cold tap on, normally within about 20-30 seconds we'll start to get the water coming through on the cold side, and then our hot side will take a little bit longer. We've got a big water tank to fill up basically, so that will take a little bit of time just to get the water into our hot water tank, fill the system up, and then get all of the air out. So our cold will come through fairly quickly, a little bit of air in the system there, and then as we move on to the hot, we're going to have a good 5 or so minutes of coughing and spluttering, So we can leave that on just to prime the system through, and then once we get a nice steady flow of water, we can turn that tap off. Do the same with our bathroom and also our shower, and that just gets all the air out of the system and ready to use. We've then got our gas system, so again we need to get the air through the system if we've come to it for the first time. The easiest way to get all the air out is by lighting our rings, and again these will normally take about 30 seconds to just get the gas through the system, and this will then mean that everything else will light up a little bit quicker. So if we're going to use our fridge on gas or our heating on gas, it will all just light up that little bit quicker. We've then got our grill, and again if you don't hold the control valve in long enough, it will just go out, so just hold it in long enough to make sure that it stays lit. And then the same with our oven. That then means, as I say, our fridge etc, if we're going to use that on the gas, will light up a little bit quicker. So on our fridge, our main on and off button is just our end one there. We've automatically gone over to electric, so to change our setting, if we wanted to pick gas, use our little arrow buttons, select the gas. That then will go through its process of trying to ignite and get the gas through the system, and that again will take about 30 seconds. If you hadn't got the gas through and it went to a fault, if I just try and put it onto car battery, because we're not connected to a vehicle at the moment, you'll just get a little warning light, and that will then just say that we've got an issue. So if it didn't light up on the gas, that's basically what would happen. On the car side, as soon as that we've plugged into the car and started the vehicle, if we've got 13 pins wide in, we can run it on the battery by starting the car, put it onto our 12 volt battery setting, and that will just keep the fridge cool as we travel. If we wanted electric, again we just literally press arrows and come across to our little plug symbol now. That will use the fridge just on our 230 volts. And then we have also got the auto setting, which that will just automatically detect what's the best power setting that we've got. So instead of having to come in and change over to car if you're going to travel, or if you're going to go onto a site and you haven't got 230 volt and you're going to use gas, this will just automatically detect what we have or haven't got connected to the Caravan. We can also adjust how cold the fridge gets, so by pressing our little thermostat, this will just either put it down to minimum, mid or maximum. Again, once we've finished, just to turn the fridge back off, it's just hold our fridge button and that turns everything off. We've then got our heating settings, and now this control panel just above the door, this will do our heating and hot water. Now one thing that we just need to make sure is that we've got the little plug symbol just here. Now if we haven't got that plug symbol, the reason is that underneath of our front seat is our sort of main consumer and power unit, and this we can actually turn different things on and off. So just underneath of here we've got all of our fuses, so our individual fuses for lighting etc. We've got a main system shutdown button, so this will power the complete Caravan down of 12 volt. So if you've not got 12 volt coming on, just make sure that this is in the on position. We've then got our 230 volt trip switches, so if we get a trip out, if something trips the Caravan out or we have an issue, the chances are that these might have tripped out. And then we've got our charger unit, so when we're plugged into 230 volt, this will put the charger unit on or off. And then our heating and hot water, so to make sure that we've got that little plug symbol just above the door on that panel that I was showing you then, we need to make sure that this button here is actually turned on, and that will put the power through then to the water heater and heating system. So back to our panel just above the door. So to wake the panel up, we just press our little button, and again we can then just make sure that we've definitely got our plug symbol on that tells us that we've got 230 volt connected. Our first symbol is our internal heating, so this is how we're going to put our heating on inside of the Caravan. Our little wheel then, once we've pressed that, just sets our temperature, and again another click and that will actually set the temperature. Next along is our hot water, so if we want our hot water, and again we need to make sure that we've got all of the water through on the system as we showed you earlier. We've got off, we've then got eco, so this is a low power setting. Hot, so this is what you're going to normally run the hot water on, is just hot. That is what you're going to use 99% of the time. And then you have also got a boost, so if you wanted to get the hot water heated quicker, we can run it on a boost setting and that will just heat it a little bit quicker. But for normal everyday use, hot is probably the one that we're going to use. So that then has put our heating and our hot water on, and again both of our little dials above then are just flashing just to say that we've got those on. Next along we've got our power setting, so now we can choose either gas power. Mix 1 then is a mix of gas and electric on a lower setting. We've got mix 2, which is again a mix of gas and electric on a higher setting. And then we've got just electric on 1, so electric lower setting, and then electric 2, electric higher setting. So if we pop that onto the electric 2, and that will now power the system on our electric on the higher setting. And again we get the little flashes just above just to tell us that we've selected electric on 2. On the very end we've got then our fan setting, so with our heating we can either put this onto eco, high or boost. So again, depending on what situation that you want the blown air working on, you might want it on high, boost, or if it's during the night you might want to put it on eco, so it's just running on a lower setting. There is also a little hidden setting. Now if we turn off our hot water and we turn our heating back off, so if we're in the summer and it's quite warm and we just literally just want some blown air, cool blown air run around the Caravan, we can come all the way across to our fan again, click on, and now this time it says vent. We've got from 1 all the way up to 10, and now this will just run the fan without any heating or hot water and just blow cold air around the Caravan. Again, if we didn't want that back on, we can just literally turn it back into the off position, and that will then just turn everything all back off again. Back to the kitchen area, and we've then got our microwave. So we've got all of our different little settings on here. We've got a quick start guide, so we press that a couple of times and that will just run on our quick start guide, stop, cancel, and then we've got our individual little settings. One thing just to make sure that we do is remove our microwave plate before travelling. So just make sure that this is removed when we come to travel. We'll pop that under the seat so when you collect the Caravan it's all ready and set to go. So we've got our different light switches throughout the Caravan. Some have got individual little switches just dotted around, and I think underneath the cabinets you'll find little white switches that will put the individual circuits on. Same in the bedroom, we've got a his and a hers either side, and then we've also got a little one just at the side that puts our over bed cabinet dimmable lights on also. In the bathroom, our bathroom light switch is located just on the side there, and then that brings us into our bathroom and our cassette toilet. And flushing the cassette through, we've got our flush button, so this will put all of our flush water through and just flush the toilet through. And then to let everything down and through, we've got our little grey lever, and that just opens up and lets everything down into the cassette there. Again, just always make sure that this is fully closed, and then that will just stop any smells coming in. You can put blue chemical into the actual cassette as well. that will just break down all the deposits in the cassette as well, so that will just make life a little bit easier for you. Hopefully we've got you up and running with the Sprite Quattro. If you do have any problems or you're not sure about anything, just give us a call. Thanks, I'm Mark at the Caravan Place.